off. Today is day 84 of the year of streaming and learning to code. Let's jump over to Codecademy. Goodbye, OBS. Hello, Codecademy. Alright. Day 84, we are continuing on 75% of the way through JavaScript. Busy day today. Busier day tomorrow. We're doing a short stream tonight, and we're going to kill it. Restart the stream again slightly after midnight for tomorrow's stream. So 2 days back to back, we're going to hammer those out and we will be covered. The party continues here in section 7, objects 1, continuing lesson 1, which we made it 15% of the way through. What was the first block of 5, I think? Okay. And those were, just to recap, it was section 1. We've come a long way, or we've come a long yeah. So, their code, they had all the different data types, and we were going over comparisons, one of those, booleans. All of these equated to true. We were comparing them with OR operators, comparators, whatever we want to call them. And it all came out to true. So, good. That was the first section. This is just a quick overview before we continue on from section 6. Through the hard times, we had variables, multiple of 8. We compared, or we were checking to see if 58, in fact, was evenly divisible by 8, or if dividing it by 8, if there was any remainder. And there was, because it was not equal to 0. So this whole thing came out to true. Next. And the good. What was it? It was, we've come a long, through the hard times, and the good. Okay. I was just checking to see if there was any consistency amongst the titling. No commonalities there. Alright, onwards. Oh, right. Then we got to deal with the whole for loop fiasco for the FizzBuzz game in my deep state of confusion, but we finally made it through. The final result for numbers that were divisible by 3 with no remainder got fizz. Numbers that were divisible by 5 with no remainder got buzz. Numbers that were divisible by both 3 and 5 got FizzBuzz, and anything that didn't fall into one of those 3 categories just got printed to the console log as is. Final answer was 1, 2, fizz, 4, buzz, fizz, 7, 8, fizz, buzz, 11, fizz, 13, 14, fizz, buzz, 16, 17, fizz, 19, buzz. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. 4 was variable get review, function movie, and then we use the switch, and that was switch statement. Yeah, there's nothing special in the hint. I messed, well, not quite messed up. My, again, state of confusion, ended up using console log with a break. They wanted us to use returns, and I had put breaks after the returns, which was not necessary because the return functions as a break itself. So we did our switch statement in regards to the movie function. We had our case and the review that returned with the corresponding movie. So yeah, that worked out rather well. That was not too painful. And then we finished on section 5. I have to praise you like I should. This was simply a console log and just stating we are ready for the next section, which we now are. After a quick little review, I am ready for objects. Onwards for our short stream today. So here we go. Section 6. See how much damage we can do. Okay, intro. We've discussed 4 data types: numbers, strings, and booleans. Scratch that. Numbers, strings, booleans, and arrays. In this lesson, we focus on a 5th data type, objects. This data type is a little bit more complex. Objects allow us to represent in code real-world things and entities such as a person or bank account. We do this by storing all relevant information in one place, an object. How do we create an object? Like declaring a variable or defining a function, we use var, followed by the name of the object and an equal sign. Each object then, 1 starts with curly brace, has information inside, 3 ends with curly brace and semicolon. Instructions. Create an object called Bob that has no information inside the brackets. We know what it's going to look like, but we can make an empty object similar to how we made a variable, my variable, empty brackets for this exercise. Make an empty object named Bob. Here we go. Variable Bob equals soulless. Nothing there. Just an empty shell. Fantastic. 7. Properties. Let's review what we previously covered. Each piece of information we include in an object known as a property. Think of a property like a category label that belongs to some object. When creating an object, each property has a name followed by a colon and then a value, and then the value of that property. For example, if we want Bob's object to show he is 34, we type in age colon 34. Age is the property and 34 is the value of this property. When we have more than one property, they are separated by commas. The last property does not end with a comma. Okay. Instructions. That's right. I remember the comma fiasco. It was one of the first things I noticed and continued to forget because of all the other lessons in other languages. You'd always put a semicolon. So this little dude right here, comma, last one, no comma. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Instructions. Let's open the hint. Can we raise instructions higher? No, that's as good as that's going to get. Instructions. See the console for the object I have created about myself. Can you create an object called me that describes your age and which country you live in? Hint. Use Spencer as a guide to make your own object called me. Here's Spencer. Spencer is our example. That's our guide. Fill in your own age and country properties. Don't forget the comma between the 2 properties. So literally the same format. We will type it out. Okay, variable me equals empty shell do. We've got age colon comma and country. Right? Fantastic. Onwards. Age. They didn't put age in quotes, but they did have country in quotes. So let's do 26. And they have United States. I'm just gonna do USA. Do I want USA? I'll do United States. There we go. Only because I know there was another activity if I did, and they asked country, and I was trying to figure out whether I should do USA or United States or United States of America, and I ended up going with United States. So, yeah, kind of boxed myself into that corner. I'm a stickler for consistency when I remember, and if it's possible. So that's that. I digress. Crazy person's choice, right? Onwards. David Smith, green check mark. Love it. So does Codecademy. Thus the green check mark. Accessing properties. Accessing, your pick. Properties. Now that we know how to make objects with properties, let's look at how we actually use them. Notice our example object, Bob and Susan. In this case, both Bob and Susan each have two properties, name and age. After creating our objects, we have added code to access these properties. Notice that we save Bob's name, Bob Smith, into the global variable name1. We do this on line 10. Line 10, global variables, name1, bob.name. Instructions. Finish the exercise by filling in the code on lines 13 and 14 to access the name and age for Susan to save those into the given global variables. See hint, I assume it's going to be Susan.name and age. And when we typed in variable name 1 equals bob.name, we're doing many things. 1, declaring a new variable called name.1. 2, assigning some value to this variable. And 3, that value is the value of bob.name, i.e. the value associated with the name property is in the object Bob. I think that's the most critical part, number 3. I'm going to read that again, just so that I can better sink in for myself. That value, scratch that from the top. When we typed in our variable name1 equals bob.name, we're doing many things. 1, we're declaring a new variable called name1. We're assigning some value to this variable. That's more of a passive thing. That's not really an active thing, versus like writing out name1 is an active thing. You know what I mean? Anywho, we're writing out name1, which is then assigning some value to this variable. That process and those values are as follows in 3. That value is the value of bob.name. Example, or for example, the value associated with the name property in the object Bob. The value is the value of bob.name. For example, the value associated with the name property in the object Bob. Okay, I think I get that. So we're creating a variable name1, and we're referencing the name field here in Bob. And more accurately, the variable name1, which we can use or throw in elsewhere, maybe the console log, we're referencing the object Bob, and we're specifically picking up the name property. So when we throw in name.1, it should bring up Bob Smith. That's my understanding. Okay, so we've got variable Bob Smith, age 30, variable Susan, name Susan Jordan, age 25. Here we save Bob's information, variable name1, bob.name, variable age1, bob.age. Finish this code by saving Susan's information. We will do, continuing the same theme, Susan dot name, semicolon for these guys, followed by Susan dot age. Also gets a semicolon. Let's see what Codecademy thinks of my analysis, for lack of a better word. Boom, green check mark, the bag, spectacular. All right, 9 of 33. Okay. With that said, this is Accessing Properties Part 2. In the last exercise, we access properties using what is known as dot notation. Good name, right? So to access a property, we use object name dot property name, e.g. bob.name. In addition to dot notation, we can also use access properties using bracket notation. In this case, we use object name, then in brackets, string property name. To access the desired property, note we need quotes around the property's name. Like so. Quote life, right? You and this dude. Good, good, good. Take a look at our next example called dog. Meh. Notice on line 8 how we save the dog species into a variable by accessing the species property of dog using bracket notation. Line 8, variable species, dog species. And here's species. Within the dog object, we've got our species property, which is greyhound. So variable species equals dog. Meh, right? Fill in the code to save the weight and age using bracket notation. Okay, and I believe that's where we're continuing here. Kind of jumped ahead from the example. Use bracket notation to save dog's weight and age into variables as well. Hints refer to line 8, retrieving stuff, ignore the little yellow triangles. Cool, cool. So let's do dog. Oh, brackets. And we're actually going to do that for the line below. Weight. Get that right? Yeah. E, then I, and age. Add E. Spectacular. You're doing good. Alright. Another way to create. The method we've used to create objects. Object literal notation. That is, creating new objects with curly braces and defining properties within the brackets. Another way of creating objects without using curly brackets is to use the keyword new. This is known as creating an object using a constructor. The new keyword creates an empty object when followed by object. The general syntax is blank variable object name equals new object. We'll have to fill in this object with properties and labels. How do we do that? Check out creation of object Bob to see what we do. We create the name property for the object Bob by using bob.name and assign that to a value. Contrast this to how we define properties in lines 6 through 7 for the Susan1 object. Instructions. Move that up. Inspect the Susan1 object carefully and note the use of the object literal notation. Use constructor notation to create Susan2, which should have the same properties and values as Susan1. So it's the same song and dance, just different tempo, if you will. Hint. Use the new keyword. Using the new keyword involves two main steps. 1. Create an empty object. Okay, we did that for Bob, line 2. Then 2. Fill in the object using dot notation and assigning a value to it. For Susan2, we have two properties, name and age. Okay, our Bob object, again, but we made it using the constructor, using a constructor this time. We've got variable Bob equals new object, empty parentheses. We've got bob.name equals Bob Smith. Hey, little kitty. What are you doing? You good? Yeah. Alright, she's good. She's good. She's a cat. We've got Bob.name, which equals Bob Smith, and Bob.age, which equals 30. Here's Susan1 in literal notation. Variable Susan1 equals name, and Susan, little cat, you'll have to move. I'm gonna shimmy you. So many claws. So many claws. Please move. You're furry. And deadly. Okay. Okay, here we have Susan1 in literal notation. Variable Susan1, name, Susan Jordan, age, blah. Make a new Susan2 object using a constructor instead. Oh, little kitty. You're back again, you furry demon. Hey, guess what? Move. Please? Thank you. Can't you be a cat over on the bed? There's a huge comfy bed waiting for you. Look, she's sleeping on it. Go join her. Go be a cat. No? Maybe? Okay. We're just gonna hope for the best. Oh my god, you're typing things. Whiskers, I love you. You're going back under. You hide your claws. Why? Why? Okay. 10 little razor-sharp knives in her feet. We aren't dead yet, just slightly wounded. Okay, reset code. There we go. There we go. So here we go. We've got cat fur everywhere. Alright, we're doing good. How are we doing good for time? We're doing okay. We should probably bring this to a grinding halt. We'll see. We're gonna finish this. Oh my god, little cat. Please let me just type the code. Look. Scratches for you. Go away. Go away. Thank god for the reset code. Oh my god. I almost sent you flying. The mic was blocking you. I thought you'd gone to the bed. Holy shit. Just do your thing, cat. I don't even care. Just wander around. Yes, there you go. Scratches for little kitty. Oh, everyone loves you. You're great. You're so full of life and fur and code. Please move. Please move. Please move. Good, good, good. Yes, good. And we're moving, and we're not view page source. Jesus. Let's do right click everything with your feet. Hey, what's this? What's that? Go do something with your life. Go be productive. Why aren't you asleep? There you go. She thinks I'm scratching her, but I'm just trying to push her away. Oh my god, cat, what did you do with the webcam? I just noticed that. The cam was like completely staring at the desk. Do something with it. Okay. Good. Good. He's there. God. That's gonna be about as good as it gets for now. Awful. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, back to reality. Let's just deal with this. Reset code. Here we go. Finally. Variable Susan equals new object, empty parentheses, semicolon, spectacular, Susan dot name, right? Equals Susan Jordan, I think was her name. And Susan dot age equals 24. She was 25 before on another page. Like a case of Benjamin Button. Semicolon. I think that's all we have to do. I think that's it. Are we good? We're golden. Save and submit. Rack. Make sure Susan 2 is an object. We need to call her Susan 2. I think that's the issue. We had Bob, then we had Susan 1, so we need to make Susan 2 a thing. Which means... yeah, because that doesn't have a name. That's just Susan blah, and we've got this. Okay, so it was just... we were missing the 2. We were missing the 2. Make sure Susan 1 and have the same name property. Susan Jordan? Isn't that it? Susan 2 and 2? Is that right? There is something wrong in the neighborhood. Susan.name. Bob.name. Let's check out the forums. Introduction. Introduction. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Introduction. Another way to create, which is section 10. I feel like I'm just missing it. We've got variable Bob, copy, Susan, Susan Jordan, he's 24. Maybe they'll like that better. Make sure Susan 1 and Susan 2 have the same age property. Huh. Susan 2? Not too sure. Another way to create. Copy. 10.0. Another way to create. Codecademy. Susan 2 and Susan 2. Tried this, but it didn't work. Paste your code. Susan. Variable Susan 2. New object. Susan 1. I believe that lets Susan 2 inherit things from Susan 1. We can try. Ah, that worked. Okay, all is well. I don't know, maybe we didn't have this exact combination before, but now it worked. We didn't have to do that carryover thing. So let's close out of those. 11. Putting it all together. We've learned how to make objects in two different ways. Both are valid. You can use whichever one you prefer. Let's practice how to use both one more time. Use literal notation to finish the Snoopy object. Remember that literal notation is the one where we fill in between the curly braces with separate properties, values, and colons. Each property is separated by a comma. Snoopy should have the properties, a species of beagle and age 10, then make Buddy 5-year-old golden retriever using constructor notation. This notation involves using the keyword new to create an empty object, then fill in using dot notation. So Snoopy is species, comma, beagle, and age would be 10, right? No comma there. And then we've got Buddy, which would be new object, empty parentheses, semicolon, and we have Buddy dot something, then make Buddy 5-year-old golden retriever. So Buddy dot species equals golden retriever. I did not spell that correctly. Retry ever. Retry ever, yeah. Oh, it just must be late. I mean, it is late, it's after midnight, but I guess I'm just losing it. Buddy dot age would be 5. Semicolon. Let's give that a shot. Buddy should have property name species that is set to golden retriever. It must not like the hyphen. There we go. Didn't like the hyphen. Way cool. Alright, this is the last bit of this section. Then I think we'll probably bring this stream for day 84 to an end. And then we will restart shortly and continue with day 85. Little cat, you're going to need to shimmy just a little. More practice making objects. How about you go party somewhere else, right? Yeah, good cat. And we're moving, and we're moving. Oh, who's a good kitty? Spectacular. Don't you friggin' dare, little cat. Furry demon. Alright, yes, look, we're scratching. We're loving you. We're loving you. What do you need? There's nothing over here that can be operated by a kitten, alright? Go do something cat-like elsewhere in the room. Go be loved somewhere else. Oh my god. It's okay. It's okay. No. Dear sweet baby Jesus. No, don't you knock over that webcam. Just go. Go in the lap. God, why are you clawing my insides? Holy shit. No, whiskers, whiskers. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Not now. I'm going to throw you across the room. What do you want? What do you want? Look, you're just gonna go on the floor. We tried. There you go. And you lost. And now it's there. There's a hurricane of fur. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. Okay, she's adorable. That's why we have her. Yeah. I mean, if we were near an island in a boat, and we had to choose saving her versus another cat, we would save her, but we would strongly consider saving another cat at the same time. Like, in the end, we would pick her, but, like, they would not be just an immediate. There would be a moment of hesitation, for sure. So, yeah, that's that. Okay. Section 12. Is everything all is well? We're still good, yes. Webcam, mic is still working, Codecademy. He's a little tornado of destruction, so just want to make sure everything's still afloat. Lastly, more practice making objects. Nice. Let's do one more example. Get the hang of making objects with desired properties. Instructions. Create an object named bicycle. There's 3 properties. Speed 0, gear 1, frame material, carbon fiber. Hint, look back at object Spencer in exercise 2. The object here will have similar format, but the properties and values are different if you're using literal notation. Remember to not throw your cat across the room. See how quickly that changed, little cat? You know we can see you, right? It doesn't matter how. No, don't you lay on. Okay, fine. You can lay on the desk. I will move the keyboard under. You just can't knock over the webcam. There. No, you're moving crap again. Oh. Okay, she's just a cat. She is full of love. She's a cat. She's a cat. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Is that's gotta be relatively decent, normal. We're good? We're good. Mostly. That's gotta be good. Alright. Here we go. Codecademy. We're close to this nightmare being over with. I mean, kind of close, kind of far. The fun never really stops. Don't put your face on my cell phone. That's chat. I don't want you typing with your nose. You know, the stream used to be about coding. Now it's just pretty much all about cats. So, day 84 of Little Kitty. It's basically what this is. Your tail making so much noise. Okay, lastly, if you're using literal notation, remember to use colons instead of equal when defining properties, and that commas separate properties in objects. So we can use whatever notation we want, and we're going to do literal. So, variable. Phone is blocking stuff. Variable. Bicycle equal. That we have speed 10, comma, gear 1, comma, and material. Oh, frame underscore material. Actually, no punctuation at the end of the last one. Carbon fiber. Fiber. Way cool. Let's give that a shot. Oh, speed of 0. I thought it was a speed of 10. Bike goes 0. Maybe my bike lingo needs to be... Maybe I need to brush up on my bike lingo? Okay. Next. A method of madness. We are on to the next section. Method of madness 13 to 19. We're going to try and get through that. We'll see where we end up. Okay. Function of review. We're going to dive into that shortly. We are going to back out now. Let's see currently where day 84 ends. Let's jump back here. Okay, JavaScript, still 75% of the way through, but we are now 36% of the way through Introduction to Objects. 979 points. 132 badges. We are going to close out of the stream, and we will be back momentarily. Stop streaming. Okay. Wait, we sure? Yeah. Hell yeah. Kill it.